Welcome back, everybody. It is your boy Matt Turner, and here on this channel I like to do product reviews, talk about fitness, and document my transition as a black trans man. If any of those things interest you, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, follow me, or don't, it does not matter. But anyways, let's get straight into this video. As you guys can tell by the title, today is another fitness one. Specifically, I will be going over the supplements that I use and the ones that actually work, because I only use supplements that work. No, I'm kidding. These are actually supplements that do work. They have a lot of scientific data to back them up. These are the only ones out of all of the supplements of the fitness industry that is going to try and promote and sell to you. They are the only ones that actually do anything. Everything else is either there is too much like everything else, the clinical data is not supporting it, or the amount that it actually does is like so small, it's like not worth it. But we will start from the bottom because I want to be able to show you guys as I build up. But here is the first one. As you can guess, protein powder. Protein powder does work because it is literally just filtered, powdered, and dried up food, specifically whey protein in general, but you can get other versions of proteins. You can get plant-based proteins that come from soy. You can get pea protein if you're vegetarian. Obviously, the purpose of protein powder is to just help you get in your protein. For those of you who don't know, protein is a macronutrient. It is one of the what I call the holy three nutrients that your body needs in large quantities. There are macronutrients and there are micronutrients. So macronutrients are composed of things like carbs, fats, and protein, things that your body needs in order to regulate its daily functions, whereas macronutrients, micronutrients are things that your body needs in small quantities. These are things like iron, vitamin A, vitamin B, omega-3s, all of that fun jazz. The things that you can take like literally multivitamins and get all of your daily bases for it in like one day. You will never see anybody try to sell you a pill, a capsule, or some gummies that is for protein, because the serving size to have your daily needs met for protein in a pill is going to be impossible. The concentration for that would be ridiculous. But yes, anyways, protein, it is just it's simply there to just help you get in your protein goals. Outside of that, it does not really do anything else. So if you just struggle with getting in extra protein, or you're like me and you're in a bulk, and even though my protein goal hasn't changed too much, just with the extra amount of calories that I get in from my carbs, it becomes a little bit harder to get in my actual protein. Then it's always nice to have a protein shake. That is what the protein powder is for. You can put it in shakes, you can put it in oatmeal, you can put it in pudding. I generally just take it in shake form. The company I am currently using is Mutant Protein. I am Mutant. They are a Canadian brand. This is not sponsored, this is not promoted. I just really love this. I found this company via watching another IFBB pro bodybuilder that I really enjoy. His name is Johnny Shreve. If you ever get the chance, go check him out. He's who taught me how to really squat, like actually squat and squat right. And I just saw that he sponsored it, he promoted it. Now that doesn't necessarily mean that it's a good company, but I trust Johnny. So I don't think he would lower his standards in terms of protein that he would take. And honestly, the brand of protein that you get does not necessarily matter, so long as it's high in protein, low in carbs, so things like sugar. It shouldn't be just a ton of sugar. and like low in fats. If it meets those three things, then you're good, because protein powder should really just be filling in that small little smidget of your nutrition and your diet that you just like can't bear to deal with, if that makes sense. Like, ugh, I really just don't want to get like that extra 25 grams of protein. It's like, I really just don't want to eat like 100 grams of chicken to get that 25. That's where the protein powder comes in. That's what makes protein powder useful. A lot of people will try and use protein powder and not have their nutrition down packed or anything like that, and that's where they get messed up, because then you're relying on protein powder and then you're saying, why is it so freaking expensive to like eat healthy? And it's like, it's not. You're just spending most of your money on protein powder when you could get most of your nutrition in order and probably only spend about like 30 bucks a month on protein powder rather than trying to get all of your protein in via protein powder. That's enough on protein. That's what protein does. It just meets your protein goals. The next one that we will talk about is going to be creatine. And that is because of the supplements that I am going to be talking about. Creatine is actually one that will increase your endurance and increase your strength. And it has gone through a lot of clinical trials. It is not FDA approved, just so you know. So if that is what you're hoping for, that is not the case. But it does work. So the thing with creatine is, what people forget is, and I actually had to be corrected on this recently, is that there is a loading period for creatine, and creatine only works if you are consistent with creatine. Now, specifically when it comes to creatine, you are looking for creatine monohydrate. The other ones don't really do much else. You can get creatine pretty cheap in a store. Like this one ran me about 17 bucks. This is literally the Buck, DOS Labs. They make Woke AF. This one. Jesus. They make Woke AF. They make this one. This is pre-workout, but that's their company. This is their creatine formula. But I don't use creatine a lot. I know I have this here, but you don't need creatine. If you've never used creatine and you have very good pumps, you have very good endurance and strength while you're working out, there's really no reason to add creatine. It will make your endurance and strength like that much better. Like, we're talking marginal, because I won't say anything, but if you have ever tested or used PEDs or SARMs or anything of that nature, this is nothing to that level. So do not think that it is going to make you some kind of god and that you're going to be on steroids by taking creatine. That is not the case whatsoever. If you're a trans man, you're literally getting more strength and more endurance gains from your testosterone than you are from creatine. It's not that big. Like, it's really not doing that much insane amount. I used to use creatine. I don't use it as much because I'm just not consistent with it, because even though this is unflavored, just adding in the extra flavors to my pre-workout is just not it for me. And so I'll be off and on, which is why I usually never see any gains from it. I was consistent with creatine for about like 3 weeks, and I saw like that much of a difference, and it just wasn't worth it to me. So yeah, and a single purchase of creatine from any company will usually last you quite a while, because even through 3 weeks I had like a ton of this left, and it just comes in a white formula, a white powder. Here, I'll see if it just comes like this. It's just a white powder, and it's very messy and it gets all over the place. So that's enough of that one. When it comes to the protein powder, just because I did it for the creatine, I'll go ahead and show you guys this one real quick. But again, as you guys can see, the scoop sizes are different for protein powder because it is a macronutrient. Your body needs it in larger quantities. So creatine, that's creatine. Creatine will help you with strength and endurance. It does have to be used consistently every single day, every day that you work out, regardless, in order for you to have effects. If you don't do that, you will not see it. There can be a loading period. It can cause bloating if you are doing a loading period. A loading period is basically where you are going to be taking a double serving so that it all gets kind of like in your system and saturated, and then it'll start to really see the effects. You do not have to do a loading period. Do not think that. You can definitely, if you plan to use creatine for a long time, you can definitely just use like the normal serving over time. It'll more than likely not cause you to bloat that way. And you'll still see the gains. You just won't see the gains as soon as somebody who does a loading period. Now, the last thing that I have, well, second to last thing, because I do want to talk about one extra thing, is pre-workout. Now, what is pre-workout? Pre-workout at its core is literally caffeine. So what is this supplement technically? Caffeine. Caffeine definitely works. You can have pre-workout, which is basically caffeine and BCAAs mixed together. I will get into BCAAs at the end of this. But basically, it's just giving you energy. You can use pre-workout or coffee. Honestly, at this point, I'm about to switch to coffee because while pre-workout flavors are nice, they do have the extra tingle sensation that comes from your beta adenine. That's what's giving you your pump and everything like that. So they're nice if you like a pump. If you like going to the gym and getting the tingle sensation and like really like feeling like the blood flow to your body and all of that, then pre-workout is great for you. Now, it should be noted though that you should take breaks from caffeine in order to see the effects of them. So the general rule of thumb is if you are in a cut, it's perfectly okay to take pre-workout and caffeine. In fact, it's probably encouraged because you're going to be so low in energy from being in a caloric deficit that you're going to need sometimes that extra help in order to get you through your workout. If you are in a bulk, however, like I am, and are currently gaining weight and eating in a caloric surplus, the pre-workout's not really doing much unless you're not eating breakfast, which I don't, which is why I still take pre-workout, but I'm gonna switch to coffee. Because my pumps are the same regardless. So yes, pre-workout is just caffeine. It doesn't do much of anything outside of give you energy and like really just kind of give you good pumps. That's really it, honestly. Some people, caffeine can help with focus, so that is another thing that people do use pre-workout for, is the alert and focusedness of it. But if you're just in general a very alert and focused person anyways, you're not really going to see much of a difference. Last supplement that I recommend that actually does work, and all of you have probably used it at one point or another and do not know it, and that is advanced carbs. For those of you who don't know what advanced carbs are, it's basically sports drinks. It's just carbs that you can get into your body really quick and fast, usually used in the midst of working out, called intra pre-workout. Sometimes they'll be called that. And basically use things like Gatorade, Powerade, things that refill your body with carbs. That is really it. And the only purpose of it is to just give your body energy while you're working out halfway through if you have a long workout. For those of you who follow me, you know that my workouts usually span around 3 hours in total. So in situations like that, yes, you probably do want to use an advanced carb or something like just having a sports drink to have in the like with you to drink while you're working out, so that you can, you know, still have energy halfway through. But those are the only supplements that actually do anything. Fat burners don't really do much. They're definitely not worth the extra money. And honestly, outside of fat burners, I don't really know what else there is, just because I don't look for it. I know what's worked in the past. I know what scientists and sports medicine doctors and sports physiologists recommend, and those are the ones I stick to. So yes, protein powder, pre-workout, and creatine monohydrate are your supplements to go to. I get a lot of questions about amino acids, specifically BCAAs, which is your blockchain amino acids, and I'm really kind of indifferent on them. I haven't done enough research into them to really know a ton about them. They're usually just added in with most of the supplements that I take. It doesn't really matter to me. They're not gonna, from my understanding and knowledge, they're not gonna do you any harm. Always fact check. Do not just take my word for God and law. Definitely do your own research. Even after this video, research what I've said. Go to other YouTube channels and research what they said. But these are the 3 supplements that I recommend and have been proven time and time again are the only ones that work. If you guys did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up. Comment down below if you have any more questions or you need more clarification on something. Subscribe, hit the bell notification so you guys can stay up to date. If you're interested in personal training, hit me up on IG at Morgan7551. If you don't want to hit me up directly via DM, definitely look at my fitness website, see my services there. I offer consultations, weekly check-ins, but I'm doing everything online right now. But anyways, guys, gals, everybody who watches my videos, kings and queens, beloveds, it is your boy Matt Turner. I hope you guys have a wonderful morning, evening, day, or night, wherever you guys are, and I will see you guys next time.